Ahsoka. Poor ass. It is. Oh, God help it. This is the dumbest Star Wars I've ever seen. 1 second. Share screen. Remember Star Wars? Well, fuck that. This is nothing like it. This is, again, Star Wars karaoke by Karens. This is so Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars. It's so shit, right? It is so insanely shit. So we got a 5-minute recap. And now of Ahsoka used to have... So again, there's a huge backstory I knew nothing about. I saw Clone Wars, which is where Ahsoka came from, and I like the character in Clone Wars. I saw her in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett, right? I didn't really like Rosario Dawson, as quite frankly. I thought she was... It didn't connect to me as a character I knew from Clone Wars. But apparently there was also 4 seasons of Rebels, which just didn't really appeal to me at all. So there's one of the main characters was this guy Bridger, who's now went missing with Grand Admiral Thrawn, again, who I just thought was in the books. I never knew he appeared in this show Rebels, and she's looking for Thrawn, right? She used to have a Padawan called Supreme whatever. There's a lot of lesbian vibes going on. So anyway, she's Supreme, whatever her name is, agrees to come back to What's the name? Just trying Sabine Wren, that's the name. Agrees to come back and be the Padawan after cutting her hair. And now they're on their spaceship, and David Tennant's in it as a droid. He's probably the best thing in it. And she's so Supreme's doing her Jedi training with like a wooden sword. And again, all the bits with David Tennant are pretty darn good, right? But man, it's like how do they make a woman look so unfeminine? It's unbelievable, right? Oh, no male gaze going on there. I promise, no one's masturbating over her. God. But, you got to understand, sci-fi, Star Wars, women were essentially the eye candy, right? The eye candy. Got to answer, the big question for me is if Ahsoka was a prequel trilogy character, where was she in the original trilogy? I think they talk about that. Apparently they deal with that in Rebels, right? So Rebels ends, then they have Ahsoka fighting Darth Vader and Grand Admiral Thrawn, and he goes missing with Bridger, and that was a big deal. I don't know anything, right? So David Tennant's character is he's like a 1,000-year-old droid who has been training Jedi for hundreds of years, right? And he doesn't really rate Supreme, and she's like, yeah, you're barely okay, right? And he's basically saying she's shit. So then they're like, oh, let's do karaoke with Star Wars, where you put the blast, the blast thing down so you can't see, right? But let's do it in a long and boring way instead. So they do that. She walks around slowly, tapping her. And she can't find out where she is because she can't access the Force. David Tennant's going, this chick is shit. And David Tennant's right. Ahsoka. Oh, time to fly. That is not what happens in this episode. So apparently the rebellion now, they're just a giant fleet in space. And I can't stand this woman either. Another space mummy. Hi, space mummy. Space Mummy has to check out with the new what's it called? The new Senate authority, who are all arseholes apparently. And Mon Mothra's there, and she's the same age that she was 30 years ago. Weirdly enough, okay, and she didn't get killed. And so they're like, well, look, hi, I'm Space Mummy. I'm stunning and brave. Last episode we found out there are people loyal to the Empire who are shipping a super secret massive engine that we managed to track. So we want to go take the fleet there and check out what they're doing because we think it might be bad, right? We think they're looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I'm Space Mummy. Look, I'm Green Space Mummy. I can't be wrong. And Mon Mothma's like, yeah, listen, they all think you're full of shit. Yeah, we think you're full of shit, bitch. And said, well, where are you doing war? No, I wasn't fighting. And you're like, well, but I'm stunning and brave. And you're like, yes, we know, but you're just a bit of a cunt, right? What do you mean I'm a bit cunty? I want to see the fucking manager. I want to see the manager, she says. Look at that. That's a definite Karen. I want to see a manager face. And they're like, no. And she's like, okay, bye. And she's like, oh, they didn't listen to me when they're wrong, and I'm stunning and brave. Then she has a kid, apparently. I like, who can fuck this smug cunt is beyond me, right? This unfeminine smug cunt. And they got a droid with arms because it's stupid. And she's got a little green-haired boy. Hi, I'm a boy, I'm afraid. Don't worry, we'll cut that dick off for you soon enough. Thank you, Mummy. Space Mummy knows best. Let's cut that dick off. Meanwhile, they talk about the Force, and he says, hi, I'm smug. Right? So essentially, the Ahsoka, Rosanna Dawson's take on Ahsoka is smug and condescending. It says, oh, I can't feel the Force. I'm partly... I'm Mandalorian. And they're like, you'll get it eventually. And David Tennant's like, she's shit. She's like the worst Padawan ever. And so she tries to use the Force and fails because she's fucking useless. And they arrive, and they get a message from Space Mummy and said, yeah, they didn't let me go. They didn't let me go, but you've got to go on your own to where we track that engine to. And so let's see what's happening here. And they go, oh, something's tracking us. Oh, you know what's tracking us? The most shit these most shit ships ever in Star Wars ever. These like these are shit. These are such shit design, right? And oh look, it's see, I can't because I saw Nerdronic talk about it in as a review. He described her as Ray Stevenson's Chihuahua, and I just that's just it's so perfect, right? He's so absolutely right. So like, yeah, we're gonna get him, and this is the mysterious G.I. Joe guy who's probably Bridger or so. Who gives a fuck, right? Because I don't know who these characters are, and they're like, I better go down the back and impersonate Luke Skywalker and fire the gun at the back. Look, Member Berry, yay! Here we go. Oh, fine, just like, and it's oh God, look how shit these ships are, right? And the Chihuahua attacks, and they're all shit. None of them can take them out, right? Pew, 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 pew. They fire at each other. No one's blowing up, right? Pew, 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 pew. Like for a long time. A long time. And I'm stunning and brave. And they're like, oh, we got to learn to work together. And she gets one. And it's like, oh God, it's like bad Star Wars karaoke. So they get to they find the thing they're getting to. And you got the witch there, because obviously it's the female characters. Oh, we'll stop them because we got these guns. Apparently, these ones are much better, right? And they start firing at them. They're like, oh, no, pew, 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 pew. What are we going to do? So then David Tennant's like, oh, we're all going to fucking die, right? Boo. So, and as they're scanning to work out what this is, yeah, no, this is an interstellar space. This okay. They've already said the engine they put in there that they still put in there is bigger than anything that anybody has ever. There's a clearly, and they just stole a map to another galaxy to find Thrawn, right? So yes, it's an interstellar ship, right? That we knew. So you just wait here. I'm gonna do the dumbest thing you've ever seen in Star Wars. Right after they've been shot a bunch of time, so well, what can you do that's so dumb? Because they're coming back. Oh, here comes the Chihuahua. Pew pew pew, and here Ahsoka steps out of the ship to defend it with her lightsabers, and she's like using her lightsabers to bat away the energy beams. But what's she gonna do if they fire at a different point? I don't understand. And she does a cool Jedi jump, and it's stupid. It is just stupid while Sabine repairs the ship. It's the only way they can ever do it is lying on their back that way. David Tennant is like, fuck me, just kill me now. His energy's out, and this just looks stupid. Like the spaceship, the spacesuit looks stupid. Everything looks stupid. And she gets her lightsabers out as they come back. What if they fire at a different point of the ship? But okay, the Chihuahua can't work it out apparently. And she does a big jump and she cuts the wing off one of these ships. He's like, "Oh, my red shirt!" Boom. And she's like, "Wow." And Ahsoka's floating says, "Don't worry, I'll use my little turny control." Right? And they use the turny control, and it turns the ship to rotate up to her. And so she comes back inside now for some reason. And they got the ship repaired. They go down to the planet. They keep firing at them, and they meet giant space whales. And G.I. Joe characters looking for them. Where are they? God, she's so... And like all these people, they're so bland, right? Everybody in it is bland. And they're like, "Oh, space whales, Chihuahua, pew, pew, pew." And then they say, "Well, why don't we just go and land?" And apparently there's a map that to another universe where these space whales go that David Tennant mentions, and they land in the Red Forest. And they hide there while they go looking for them. Damn, we lost them in the Red Forest, right? And they say, "Oh, it's an interstellar ship." We know. So stupid. Then they just need one more part, so it's MacGuffin. And then we have a real actor, Ray Stevenson, says, "Fuck me, this is literally my last role, and this is what's going on. Kill me now." Yeah, that's going to happen. And that's it. That's the entire Ahsoka. The stupidest shit I've ever seen, right? It is just dumb, beyond dumb, beyond dumb. How they get a spacesuit to fit her, I don't know. God. I'll have one with extra wide thighs, please. I guess it's the way. I have another question. Laser, by definition, travels at the speed of light. Well, yeah, light. Yeah. Any sensible dogfight range, they should have to travel instantly. How do they always miss? Because it's Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars, and it's shit. Shit beyond shit beyond shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's just what it is. It is shit. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.